This is the GME 1-month overview reading for September 2022. It's currently August 22nd, 2022, 9:38 p.m. So the overall theme and behavior for the month, there's erratic price behavior back and forth through the same price level. It looks like we at one point in the midst of this erratic behavior revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. This theme and overall behavior is crossed with it's crossed with what looks like two separate times where we see a drop to and through a support level, followed by like a return to that support level and to reuse it as support. And the behavior around the high, there'll be negative headwinds, and we'll be expecting the price to go lower. And even though we expect that due to all the seemingly overwhelming headwinds, we still move higher, possibly even breaking through a resistance level. The behavior around the low, there'll be the completion of a bullish trend near the low. Interesting. So that'll be like the completion of a bullish trend, obviously, like on a small, like on a one-day chart or on just a few-day chart or something like that. We'll see. All right, so on the first, we have one local low on a one-day chart. That means on a one-day chart, we have one prominent low that'll stand out. Out of that low, we have a breakout. It'll stand out on a one-day chart. And then on a multi-day chart, we have a big move to the upside to reach for distant resistance. On the second, it looks like at the end of the day, we have a high and a crest for our first crest for September, and we have a price level, a critical price level around the high here, important price level or resistance level, I should say, from which there's a notable decline on a one-day chart. There's two trade opportunities here, so likely a day trade. One involves a move higher out of oversold territory, or a move higher to fill a previous gap down. And the other trade opportunity involves three pokes through the same price level, followed by a big drop after that third poke. On the 6th, we have the beginning of a rally. What appears to be in the beginning of the day, there is a trough. There's two local lows on a one-day chart. So what I mean by that is that on a one-day chart, there's two prominent lows that'll stand out in the midst of this beginning of a rally. One will involve a breakout out of the low. The other one will involve a rally that marks an opportunity to open up a short position. And then the 7th, we have our first correlation to the crossing card here, which is a drop to and through a support level, and then we revisit that support level and reuse it as support. It's crossed with we have a move higher through resistance on the 7th. We stay above that price level briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level. Looks like we have okay, so the rally from the 6th continues into the 7th. We move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down. Looks like there's a low towards the end of the day. A day's low on the 7th towards the end of the day. And then on the 8th, we have a local high. On a one-day chart, it'll stand out with a decline out of it. On a one-day chart, it'll really stand out, but that's the local high for the 8th, is a decline out of it. But the overall theme for the 8th is a rally along a diagonal trend line. We end that rally with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through the diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. And it looks like on the 9th, we have a cash out opportunity. Looks like and we also have a correlation to a month's low here, our first correlation to a month's low. There's two trade opportunities, so likely a day trade here on the 9th as well. It looks like we have a month's correlation to a low towards the very beginning of the day or early in the day on the 9th. The two local highs that we see on a one-day chart for the 9th, one will involve three crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level. The other local high will involve a period of sideways rotation along a support level with a sharp dip in the midst of that sideways rotation, revisiting a past opportunity, a recent past opportunity. The trades, one will involve an agreement between two leaders. The other one will involve multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. Looks like that decline continues, or we gap down on the 12th. Notable drop on the 12th. It looks like there's one local high and one local low on the 12th. The local high involves a rally along a diagonal trend line and breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting a secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. The local low involves the halting of a bullish trend marked by a decline through a key support level on a one-day chart, and that will take us into the low. Excuse me. And then on the 12th, we have a crest from that rally that turns into a selling from overbought territory on RSI. On the 13th, we have a decline that marks an opportunity to open up a short. Marks an opportunity to open up a long position. There's a correlation here to the theme card, so likely we cross through that price level that we would see more than once, radically crossing through it. We see it on the 13th. In the midst of that decline, there's two local highs and what appears to be a day trade opportunity as well. Local highs. One has a notable decline on a one-day chart. It'll stand out of that local high, and then the other local high forms when we have a rally along a diagonal trend line. We break through horizontal resistance, meet a secondary resistance, and we pull back to somewhere between those two price levels. The two trades, one of them involves a notable move to the upside on a one-day chart. It'll stand out, and it'll come from oversold territory, or it'll come from needing to fill a gap, previous gap down. The other trade opportunity will involve three pokes through the same price level, followed by a decline after that third poke. On the 14th, we have bearish price swings and a notable drop. We have a local high and a local low. Local high involves rally along a diagonal trend line, increases we break through horizontal resistance, means secondary resistance, and we break down through somewhere in between those two price levels. But there's a sharp drop. Looks like the end of that bullish trend. That dip continues probably, and we have a halting of a bullish trend through a key support level. Most likely that same support level that was resistance when we break through it with the Queen of Wands. On the 15th, it looks like possibly there's two possible scenarios here: either a holding pattern, having something to do with Congress, or there's a move higher followed by a retracement back down. On the 16th, we have another what appears to be a day trade opportunity. There's a local high, it'll stand out on a one-day chart, and there's a notable decline that'll stand out on a one-day chart that comes out of that local high. The trade opportunity is a similar thing going on here, where one of the trade opportunities involves a notable move on a one-day chart to the upside out of oversold territory or to fill a previous gap down, and then the other trade opportunity involves three pokes through a price level, followed by a sharp decline after the third poke. Looks like we may move higher at the end of the day, or let me see something. Just checking out my notes here. Sorry, guys. My ruined notes. So we may see a little bit of a crest between the 8th and the 9th before that notable drop on the 9th. It's possible. What else? What else? Okay, so it looks like on 19th, we gap down. There's a drop to and through a support level, and then we revisit the support level to reuse it as support. There's one local low that forms, and out of it there's a rally that marks an opportunity to open up a short position. There's a U-shaped dip is like the overall behavior around the 9th, or either that or something hidden comes to light. On the 20th, a prominent low or a drop to a prominent low. It'll stand out on a multi-day chart. There is another cross through the same through that crisscrossing price level that's we talked about with the theme card, where we go back and forth through it. We should see it again here on the 20th, and then on the 21st we have, in the midst of some volatile erratic behavior, we should see a month's high here. There's a month's high correlation here, and a notable move to and from or one or the other, the month's high here on the 21st. The local low that we'll see, so on a one-day chart, the one low that'll stand out on the one-day chart for the 21st will form after a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support on a one-day chart. On the 22nd, we have a period of volatility that ends with a fast, sudden move to the upside. There's also what appears to be a day trade opportunity here. One trade involves an agreement between two leaders, possibly a holding pattern. And the other trade involves multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. On the 23rd, we have another correlation to the month's high again. We have a notable move, an unexpected move to the upside to reach the high, and then again we have a failed attempt to break through the key resistance, followed by a decline through key support to reach a local low on the 23rd. Looks like we probably have a move to the upside on the 26th. Scratch that. Hard to say, but yes, no, hard to say. So we revisit that price level again from the theme card, the erratic behavior back and forth. Revisit it again on the 26th. There's a month's low correlation here. There's notable low here, and there's three local lows on the way down from what appears to be a notable drop on a multi-day chart from a crest or peak, which would have been the 23rd. So one of those local lows involves three crisscrosses through the same price level. Another one involves a notable drop on a one-day chart from it, and the other local high. I might have said local lows. I mean local highs. Three crisscrosses through the same local high. Another local high has a notable drop out of it, and then the other local high has a rally along a diagonal trend line out of it. We break through horizontal resistance, meet a secondary resistance, and we pull back to somewhere between those two price levels. Something important around midday. On the 27th, we are range bound. Looks like maybe looks like a high for the day at the end of the day there, and out of that high there'll be a notable drop on a one-day chart, and we see another month's low correlation here on the 28th. In the midst of some sideways price swings, there's two local highs that'll stand out on a one-day chart. One that has three crisscrosses through the same price level, the other one a rally along diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two. On the 29th, notable drop. It'll stand out on a multi-day chart. On the 30th, looks like that drop continues. We may actually have another low here, or close to a low here on the 30th, where we break down through a support, meet secondary support, and then we rotate sideways along that support. The sneak preview for the following month, for October, is a notable decline after revisiting that price level again. Or crossing that price level again. There's a notable decline, increasing with momentum as we move forward into the month. That's GME for September 2022, my friends. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more of this. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much. Please share with somebody you think it'll help. Most importantly, my friends, that rule of karma with these profits, right? You take 10% of what you make and you set it aside. Half of that goes forward. Pay it forward to somebody that doesn't expect it, that needs it. Surprise them, help them out. The other half, send it back to Approveb's Cash App. Help out the team here at The Investor Profit, and show your gratitude. Gratitude begets gratitude. The more you're grateful for, the more you have to be grateful for. And then most importantly, the most important part, guys, make sure what you do with that last 90% profits is out of love. Make sure it's out of love, my friends. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, also, guys, you can also hit that. If you're looking to trade GME, you can always do so through our Webull link or our Robinhood link that we have in the comments, most likely. See you guys.